Okay, so we'll just quickly revise multiple sequence analysis. Then we will be moving on to the applications का part. ठीक है? So so हमने देखा था मल्टीपल सीक्वेंस अलाइनमेंट हम क्यों करते हैं पहले तो ओके बिकॉज वी वांट टू स्टडी द we want to study the evolutionary relationship between my query sequence and my target sequence a little more depth. ठीक है? There is a lot of possibility कि जो conserved sequences होते हैं या conserved regions होते हैं protein sequences में there are chances कि pair wise sequence alignment में जब करूँ तो उसमें वो कंजर्व्ड जो सीक्वेंस है सटल कंजर्व्ड सीक्वेंस है वो कैच ना हो पाए so multiple sequence alignment is going to also catch those conserved very subtle conserved sequences or subtle similarities between two protein residues and give me an alignment ठीक है मल्टीपल सीक्वेंस अलाइनमेंट में हम दो से ज्यादा सीक्वेंसेस का हम अलाइनमेंट कर सकते हैं टू स्टडी देयर सिमिलैरिटी बिटवीन देयर either protein residues or nucleotide residues. Okay, तो उसमें भी local and global alignment है. It is an extension of pairwise sequence alignment. It is again the sequences are going to be identified through database similarity searching, just like we have BLAST and FASTA and dynamic programming method. वो वैसे ही similar tools are there even for MSA. Okay, it is going to reveal more biological information. Many conserved and functionally critical amino acid residues can be identified in multiple sequence alignment of proteins. It is a prerequisite to carry out phylogenetic analysis of sequence families. That is, to study the evolutionary relationship. अगर मैं मुझे एक protein sequence मुझे मिला है, ठीक है, I have done the extraction from some sample, so मैंने protein extract किया है. Then I will go with मैं उसका पीसीआर करूंगी पीसीआर अभी वर्कशॉप में वेबिनार में पढ़ा था हमने कि पीसीआर क्या क्यों करते हैं तो मैं उसका मे बी पीसीआर करूँ डीएनए है तो मैं उसका पीसीआर करूंगी ठीक है तो मैं वो डीएनए सीक्वेंस को ट्रांसलेट करके आई विल गेट माय प्रोटीन सीक्वेंसेस और डायरेक्टली इफ आई एम गेटिंग प्रोटीन सीक्वेंसेस मैं उसका आगे सेपरेशन करूंगी मे बी बाय 2D जेल और आई विल गो विद पेज दैट इज पॉलीक्रिलामाइड जेल इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस ये टेक्निक्स तुम लोग पढ़ोगे ठीक है इन डेप्थ सो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन इट इन डिटेल जस्ट नो कि प्रोटीन सेपरेशन वी कैन डू विद 2D जेल इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस और बाय पॉलीअक्राइलअमाइड जेल इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस ठीक है मैंने ये सब किया मैंने एक सीक्वेंसिंग किया दैट इज सैंगर्स सीक्वेंसिंग मेथड से मैंने प्रोटीन का सीक्वेंस किया okay I found the protein sequence which could be something like MAWTSHP something like that okay okay it could be just a minute what क्या हो रहा है ग्रुप पर ओके वो जो हमारा जो मेरे लेक्चर्स का जो लिंक है ना उसको स्टार कर दो ठीक है सो यू गाइस कैन ऑलवेज जब भी मेरे लेक्चर होंगे या गोइंग टू यूज द सेम लिंक ठीक है द सेम इज फॉर कल्याणी मैम एंड गीतांजलि मैम अगर कभी चेंज होता है तो वी विल सेंड इट अगेन बट स्टार कर दो उस लिंक को ठीक है कहीं पे कॉपी पेस्ट करके रखो सो दैट यू हैव इट एट ऑल टाइम्स ओके तो मैं क्या बोल रही थी हाँ तो मैंने सैंगर सीक्वेंसिंग किया जिसमें मुझे मेरे प्रोटीन मेरे डीएनए का जो सीक्वेंस है मुझे वो सीक्वेंस पता चल गया नाउ आई नो दिस इज द सीक्वेंस फॉर माय पर्टिकुलर प्रोटीन तो मुझे आगे क्या करना है आई वांट टू स्टडी कि वेदर दिस प्रोटीन इज रिलेटेड this sequence is related to the protein sequences which are already in the database तो मैं क्या करूंगी आई विल गो विद pairwise sequence alignment first ठीक है बट मुझे इतने कुछ खास रिजल्ट्स नहीं आ रहे सो मैं क्या करूंगी, आई विल गो विद मल्टीपल सीक्वेंस अलाइनमेंट वेयर इट विल आल्सो गिव मी द फाइलोजेनेटिक रिलेशन, दैट इज द एवोल्यूशनरी रिलेशन। एक ट्री जैसा बनकर आएगा, ठीक है, या तो एक क्लैडोग्राम मिलेगा तो ट्री मिलेगा, जिसमें आई कैन विजुअलाइज, अच्छा ये इतने एवोल्यूशनरली रिलेटेड है कि नहीं है। दैट इज व्हाट फाइलोजेनेटिक एनालिसिस मींस। ओके, व्हेन वी वुड डू क्लस्टल ओमेगा का वेबलेम, तभी तुम्हें वो क्लियर हो जाएगा phylogenetic tree के बारे में। ओके, and also to predict the protein structures like the secondary and the tertiary structures. Okay, it is possible to use dynamic programming method when you are doing it theoretically, but it is going to take a lot of time, so we use heuristic approaches. Okay, but it is more of a combination, ठीक है, as we have already seen कि हम जब blast और FASTA भी करते हैं, किसी ना किसी step में हम dynamic programming method use कर रहे हैं, बराबर। द सेम इज इवन इन क्लस्टल ओमेगा, में हम लोग जब MSA बाय क्लस्टल ओमेगा करते हैं, कहीं ना कहीं वी आर गोइंग टू यूज डायनामिक प्रोग्रामिंग, but the entire alignment is not done with dynamic programming method. We're going to always go with heuristic approaches. Why heuristic approaches, ये मैंने कल explain किया हुआ था। Okay, so heuristic approaches are basically fast, ठीक है, जल्दी जल्दी मुझे रिजल्ट चाहिए 2 मिनट में, मैक्सिमम 5 मिनट्स के अंदर अंदर मुझे मेरे अलाइनमेंट का रिजल्ट आ जाता है। Okay, that is why we always go with heuristic approaches. We are going to sacrifice a little bit of sensitivity and go with the fast to get my results faster. हमने स्कोरिंग फंक्शन देखा था, आई हैव एडेड 1 or 2 स्लाइड्स लेटर ऑन फॉर इजी अंडरस्टैंडिंग। स्कोरिंग फंक्शन अगर नहीं समझता है तो आई विल हैव टू सर्च more material to explain it to you guys. So let me know अगर नहीं समझा है कल का, या अभी भी अगर नहीं समझेगा, just let me know about it so I can search for some other material and make it in a much more easy way to like explain it to you guys. ठीक है, just let me know about it. मैं कल बताना भूल गई थी। ओके, सो MSA क्या करता है, इट इज गोइंग टू अरेंज द सीक्वेंसेस, जो सीक्वेंसेस का अलाइनमेंट होता है, इट इज गोइंग टू बी अरेंज्ड इन सच अ वे that maximum number of residues from each sequences are matched up according to a particular scoring function. ठीक है, residues क्या होते हैं, when you talk about protein residues, they are your amino acids. When you talk about DNA residues, they are your nucleotides basically. ठीक है, तो जो अलाइनमेंट होता है, इट इज गोइंग टू हैपन इन व्हाट वे, जो मैक्सिमम नंबर के रेसिड्यूज है दोनों सीक्वेंसेस में से, दे आर मैचिंग अकॉर्डिंग टू स्कोरिंग फंक्शन। ओके, जैसे हम डायनामिक प्रोग्रामिंग में हाई स्कोर देते हैं, वैसे समथिंग वेरी करस्पॉन्डिंग टू दैट। The scoring function for multiple sequence alignment is based on the concept of sum of pairs. ठीक है, पेयर क्या होता है, 2 रेसिड्यूज होंगे, ठीक है, if there are 2 sequences it will be 2 residues. If they are more than 3 or 4 sequences का हम alignment कर रहे हैं, तो the pairs would become the columns. Okay, when you see the picture you get clear. So it is the sum of scores of all possible pairs of sequences in a multiple alignment based on a particular scoring matrix. Again, here we are going to use a scoring matrix. It could be Blossom 62 or it could be PAM 250, something like that. ठीक है, तो we are going to add up the scores of all the possible pairs in the multiple sequences. ठीक है, तो जिन pairs का जो पेयर्स बनते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू हैव 3 सीक्वेंसेस, ठीक है, मेरा ऊपर वाला क्वेरी सीक्वेंस है, मेरे नीचे के 2 मेरे टारगेट डेटाबेस के सीक्वेंसेस है। ठीक है, तो मेरे क्वेरी सीक्वेंस में ऊपर फर्स्ट रेसिड्यू इज M, नीचे भी M है, उसके नीचे भी M है, सो दिस बिकम्स 1 पेयर। ठीक है, ये एक मैच हो जाता है। ओके, सेकेंड रेसिड्यू समथिंग लाइक P एंड P, फिर Y, ठीक है, तो उन तीनों का स्कोर होता है, वी वांट टू कैलकुलेट द स्कोर। ठीक है, वो कैसे करते हैं वो आगे बताती हूँ। So sum of scores is given by basically a dynamic programming method. Okay, the score of the entire alignment is the sum of all the column scores. तो ये जो 3 कॉलम बनते हैं, उन तीनों का टोटल सम इज गोइंग टू बी, या टोटल जो भी स्कोर आता है, इट इज गोइंग टू बी द स्कोर ऑफ द फाइनल अलाइनमेंट। ठीक है, the purpose of most MSA algorithms is to achieve maximum XP square sum of scores. Now, if you can see, there are three sequences. Okay, there are three sequences, sequence 1, 2 and 3. तो ये ऊपर का जो सीक्वेंस है GKN है, TRN है, SHE है, ठीक है ना. दे आर नॉट सिमिलर, दे आर नॉट मैचिंग, ठीक है, कोई भी किसी को मैच नहीं कर रहा है. तो व्हाट इट इज गोइंग टू डू, डिपेंडिंग ऑन ब्लॉसम 62 मैट्रिक्स, हर अमीनो एसिड को एक स्कोर मिलेगा, ठीक है. एवरी अमीनो एसिड इज गोइंग टू गेट ए स्कोर. तो ये एक पेयर, इसका पेयर का एक स्कोर, इन दोनों का ऐड करके एक स्कोर, इन दोनों को ऐड करके एक स्कोर, यू गेट अ फाइनल स्कोर, तीनों का ऐड करके. Every amino acid is going to get a different score depending on your BLOSUM 62 matrix. ठीक है, there is a matrix, तो उस मैट्रिक्स में जो अमीनो एसिड का जो स्कोर रहेगा, वो स्कोर इस पर्टिकुलर अमीनो एसिड को दिया जाएगा. Same goes for the other amino acids. So I'm first going to calculate ये जो sum of pairs है, I'm going to calculate इन दोनों का total. For example, hypothetically, अगर G का स्कोर है 2, T का स्कोर है 1, तो 2 + 1 3 हो जाएगा. ओके, देन ये 1 है, नीचे S है, तो S का सपोज स्कोर है 1, उसका भी 1 है, तो ये 1 + 1 2 हो जाएगा. एंड फाइनली ये G एंड S है, तो G को ऊपर अगर 3 था और नीचे 1 है, तो 3 + 1 4 हो जाएगा. It's all, I'm just giving hypothetical numbers, ठीक है. Finally I'm going to add up the three scores. मतलब यहाँ पे क्या था, for example 3 था, 2 था and 4, 3 + 2 + 4, ओके 9. तो यहाँ पे सम फाइनली मुझे यहाँ पर 9 मिलेगा. Then I will add up बाकी का भी जो भी स्कोर्स हैं, एंड फाइनली मुझे जो मैं इन तीनों का जो स्कोर ऐड करूंगी, दैट वुड बी द फाइनल स्कोर ऑफ माय अलाइनमेंट. ठीक है, that was about the scoring function. Now moving on to the alignment algorithms in MSA. There are two types, exhaustive and heuristic. Just like in pairwise sequence alignment, we had dynamic programming and heuristic, along with dot matrix and scoring substitution matrices. In the same way, alignment algorithms may be, you have in alignment algorithms also you're going to have exhaustive, heuristic, dynamic programming, and I mean exhaustive में ही dynamic programming आता है, heuristic and you're going to have substitution matrices even here. So जो substitution matrices we have already studied in PSA, the same substitution matrices are going to be used here also. Okay. Then what are exhaustive alignment algorithms, वो हमने देखा था. It uses a dynamic programming method only, but यहाँ पे बस उसका नाम is DCA, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, divide and conquer alignment is a program which uses dynamic programming, just like in PSA we are using Smith-Waterman algorithm, which uses dynamic programming method. In the same way, MSA में DCA uses a dynamic programming method. ठीक है, उसको थोड़ा चेंजेस रहेगा उसमें, but naturally. And dynamic programming in pairwise sequence alignment was just a 2D matrix, because only two sequences are there, no, in a pair to align. But in case of multiple sequence alignment, जितने sequences हम align कर रहे हैं उसके हिसाब से matrix बनेगा. अगर 3 sequences का हम MSA कर रहे हैं, तो the matrix will become a 3D matrix. If you are going to align 5 sequences, it will become a 5D matrix, and उसके हिसाब से computation takes place. Okay. Heuristic are fast. The word suggests that they are fast algorithms जो मुझे जल्दी से मुझे results देंगे alignment करके. Okay. So there are 3 types or 3 categories of heuristic algorithms. There is a progressive alignment type, iterative alignment type, and a block-based alignment type. हम तीनों के डेप्थ में नहीं जा रहे हैं. We are only studying the first alignment type, that is a progressive alignment type, और उसके under we are studying cluster omega. Okay, since it's one of your web limbs, we are studying cluster omega only. Okay. Now added the slide about progressive alignment, a little bit about progressive alignment method. It is the most commonly used approach, okay, as compared to iterative and block-based alignment type. Progressive is the most commonly used approach. As the word progressive suggests, can anybody tell me what do you mean by the word progressive? कुछ तो, something. Okay. So I'm going to call out names so you can tell me. Divya, are you there? Divya. Okay, Shaista.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, progressive.
मैम समथिंग एडवांस मतलब उसमें कुछ प्रोग्रेस करके
कुछ क्या?
मैं एडवांस लेवल पे थोड़ा उसमें
ओके। और क्या हो सकता है प्रोग्रेसिव? We see ना the organization has progressed over the period of time. हम ऐसे बोलते हैं ना,
डेवलप
प्रोग्रेस हुआ है। हम्म, कौन
डेवलप
बोल रहा है? हाँ,
डेवलप
yeah, when we talk about the organization, yeah. And if you try to relate it to alignment, में क्या हो सकता है? Yeah, Mariam, I saw your message. Yeah, that is in the case of an organization. What could it mean when we talk about an alignment? Okay, we'll see. So progressive alignment method is the most commonly used approach. Okay, we generally use cluster omega as one of the types of progressive alignment method. Okay, so it works by constructing a succession of pairwise alignment. Okay, so agar if I'm having 3 or 4 sequences, I'm going to start aligning my most alike sequences. It is हमने A B C D कल देखा था. So if A, B are most alike, I will start aligning, I mean the algorithm, the program will start aligning A, B first. Then it will see that C, D are most alike to each other. तो C, D को align करेंगे, है ना? We had seen then the consensus of A, B, C, D are aligned. So basically जो alignment होता है, it is with the succession of pairwise alignment. तो पहले it starts with pairwise alignment. Okay, it is very fast and efficient. So the approach, it begins with an alignment of the most alike sequences and then built up upon the alignment using other sequences. तो जो most alike sequences है उसका पहले pairwise alignment होगा, ठीक है? फिर उनका जो alignment aligned sequence मुझे मुझे मिलता है उसका alignment होगा. Okay, it is happening in a successive pattern basically. Now it will work by um, first aligning the most alike sequences using dynamic programming and then progressively adding the less related sequences to the initial alignment. ठीक है, तो जो मेरे most alike sequences का aligning पहले होगा, A B का aligning होगा, C D का aligning होगा, फिर A B का जो aligned sequence and C D का जो aligned sequence है उनको align करेंगे. Okay, and then it will see for some other sequence. अगर fifth sequence है, so it is, since it is least alike, it is going to be aligned to the CD वाला um, aligned sequence in the end. ठीक है? When we see the picture, वो clear हो जाएगा. So evolutionary relationships can be seen using cladograms. So when we study cluster omega, you would be able to see the cladograms. ठीक है? I think I've added the picture. So the starting pairwise alignments are calculated using dynamic programming and genetic distances for creation of phylogenetic tree are calculated by dividing the total number of mismatch positions by the total number of match positions. This is just about how the tree, the जो phylogenetic tree हमको मिलता है वो कैसे वो लोग calculate करते हैं, that is about that. ठीक है? The cluster family of program works on the hypothesis that the sequences in an alignment will reflect their evolutionary history. That is why वो tree phylogenetic tree construct करता है वो algorithm. Okay. If one were to go from one sequence to the next most closely related one would visit all the nodes on the phylogenetic tree, telling us how the sequence has evolved. Evolutionary relationship में हम वही पढ़ते हैं ना कि we want to see that how that particular protein, how that particular DNA sequence has evolved, है ना, from its closely related sequences. Okay, so about cluster omega, so it's a progressive alignment type of program. It could be a standalone or an online program. Okay, so we have cluster omega and cluster X. So it uses substitution matrices, but not just one. It uses many substitution or different scoring matrices. And like if you see FASTA and BLAST, they use only one kind of substitution matrix at a time. But cluster is going to use multiple or different substitution matrices. ठीक है, substitution and scoring matrices are one and the same. PAM and BLOSSOM ही है उसमें. Okay. All right. So the progressive alignment method or cluster omega is not suitable for comparing sequences of different lengths. Why different lengths के लिए suitable नहीं है? Because cluster omega is more of a global alignment method. ठीक है, ग्लोबल अलाइनमेंट मेथड में एंड टू एंड अलाइनमेंट होता है ना, तो अगर मेरा क्वेरी सीक्वेंस और टारगेट सीक्वेंस आर गोइंग टू बी ऑफ डिफरेंट लेंथ, तो व्हाट्स गोइंग टू हैपन, वो अलाइनमेंट का जो रिजल्ट रहेगा इट वुड नॉट बी अप्रोप्रिएट. ठीक है, तो आई वुड रादर यूज सीक्वेंसेस दैट आर ऑफ अ सिमिलर और आर ऑफ सिमिलर लेंथ. ठीक है, okay. So when you are talking about that sequence, this is an example of cluster, ठीक है, how the cluster family works. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 sequences. ठीक है, if you see observe very clearly, there are different lengths but they are very close to each other. ठीक है, मतलब उनका जो लेंथ है ज्यादा वैरी नहीं कर रहा है. So I have 5 different sequences. ठीक है, तो इनमें से I could have all 5 query sequences मेरे हो सकते थे. Okay, so what is going to happen is, the first thing that would start is, जो most alike sequences है उनका पहले alignment होना शुरू होगा. तो यहाँ पे AB का alignment हो रहा है, फिर CD का alignment हो रहा है. If you see over here, ठीक है, come over here, we'll skip this for now, just come इस step पर अगर देखोगे तो they have the program starts aligning AB and CD, assuming that they both are very closely related to each other. तो AB का एक aligned sequence मिलता है, CD का एक aligned sequence मिलता है, फिर उन दोनों का alignment होगा. उन दोनों alignment दोनों sequences का जो final aligned sequence रहेगा, that will be aligned with the E sequence, assuming that the E sequence is the least alike to the top 4. Okay, and then finally जो मेरा output रहेगा, that would be the final result. ठीक है, तो उसमें जो मेरे amino acids रहेंगे, the sequence would be displayed. Okay, in cluster omega, जो मेरा A sequence है उसके amino acids, B के amino acids, C के amino acids, D के E के जो similar है वो एक के नीचे एक, it would be aligned. That is what alignment is, right? So according to that, the scores would be given and the phylogenetic tree, everything would be constructed in my result. Okay. So this is one example I had given. So I have added a better one. So this is the alignment between myosin protein, 2 different myosin proteins, but both from humans. ठीक है, if you see MYH9, MYH10, ठीक है. So यहाँ पे मैंने सिर्फ तुम्हें ये एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए 2 ही सीक्वेंसेस का अलाइनमेंट मैंने किया है. आई कैन डू 2 सीक्वेंस अलाइनमेंट एंड मल्टीपल सीक्वेंस अलाइनमेंट. ठीक है, सो if you can see the alignment of the sequences, ठीक है, तो if you can see अलग अलग प्रोटीन्स को अलग अलग कलर दिया है. somewhere they are red, somewhere they are green, blue है, pink magenta है. ठीक है, तो every amino acid जो उनको कलर कोड दिया है, they have a significance to tell us what kind of amino acid it is, whether it is acidic, whether it is basic, or what it is. And if you see, there are symbols, right? There are different symbols. There is a dot, there is a colon and an asterisk. इसका भी significance होता है. क्या significance है वो देखेंगे, and it is very important from exam point of view. ठीक है, so the dot indicates that this particular substitution between amino acid A and amino acid G is a semi-conserved substitution. Semi-conserved, conserved substitutions क्या होते हैं ये मैंने BLOSSOM matrix में अच्छे से समझाया था. ठीक है, so the substitution between amino acid A and G is a semi-conserved substitution, which means what? That the 2 amino acids are weakly related to each other. ठीक है. Then the second one is your colon, ठीक है, which is between D, E, K, R. ठीक है, it is a conserved substitution, which means what? That these amino acids are very closely related or very closely similar. ठीक है, तो इस मैंने बताया था अगर वो सब्स्टिट्यूशन ऐसे होता है दोनों के बीच में, it would mean what, कि जो प्रोटीन फाइनल प्रोटीन रहेगा it would still be a functional protein when you were talking about some mutations and everything. So just know that the colon indicates that this particular substitution is a conserved substitution that could happen between these two amino acids in the two sequences. Okay, the asterisk indicates that the residues are identical. तो D के नीचे D है, D के नीचे D है, I के नीचे I, Q के नीचे Q. They are very similar, identical है एक दूसरे को, the residues. ठीक है? Conserved substitutions, they are similar, they're not identical. There's a difference between similar and identical. Okay, and the dot or the full stop here indicates that it's a semi-conserved substitution. They're weakly similar to each other. Now, the colors, जो अमीनो एसिड जो कोड्स है अमीनो एसिड्स के, उनको कलर्स दिया है. So the red indicates that this particular amino acid F, which is phenylalanine, ठीक है, it is a small hydrophobic aromatic amino acid. ठीक है. The green one indicates that it is a hydroxylamine basic amino acid. N stands for asparagine. ठीक है. Then we have the pink or the magenta one, which is K in this case. It is a basic amino acid. K stands for lysine. And D, this one, D here is blue, which is acidic, which stands for aspartate or aspartic acid. ठीक है. All these letters are codes for amino acids. ठीक है. It is not feasible to write the entire name of the amino acid, तो उसको single letter codes दिया जाता है. I have put the table in the last slide for your convenience. ठीक है. So you can just refer. So this is the cladogram that I was talking about, or the phylogenetic tree. Now this is the clustral alignment or MSA for between three myosin proteins, but taken from different species. Two are human, ठीक है, ये जो 10 and 9 है, they are from human, but the second one is from a chick. ठीक है, Gallus gallus is the name of the species. So the second myosin protein is taken from a chick. ठीक है, or a chicken, Gallus gallus. So if you see that the cladogram, they are very closely related. The evolutionary relationship between this बता देता है कि they are very closely related proteins. ठीक है. See, this is the tree, the phylogenetic tree that looks like. Okay, they are very closely related to each other. Okay, this is the table for the single letter code for amino acid. ठीक है, हर अमीनो एसिड का सिंगल लेटर कोड इसमें दिया हुआ है. दिस इज जस्ट फॉर रेफरेंस. ठीक है, डू नॉट हैव टू रेक्टिफाई इट और समथिंग लाइक दैट. ओके, तो ये सब हमने मल्टीपल सीक्वेंस अलाइनमेंट में पढ़ा था. ओके, नाउ वी आर स्विचिंग टू द एप्लीकेशंस पार्ट. ओके, ठीक है, मल्टीपल सीक्वेंस अलाइनमेंट तक सबको क्लियर है? एनीबॉडी हैविंग एनी डाउट सो फार? Okay, 1 second now. This one, na, phylogenetic tree wala.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is the क्या बोलते हैं sequence alignment between three different myosin proteins, ठीक है, but two of the myosin proteins are taken from humans, ठीक है, होमो sapiens species से उसको लिया गया है, and one myosin protein is taken from the chick, that is your Gallus species, ठीक है. So if you see that they're very closely related, myosin protein, ठीक है, ह्यूमंस में और उस चिक में या चिकन में द जो प्रोटीन का स्ट्रक्चर है, उसका जो फंक्शन है, इट इज वेरी सिमिलर. ओके, इट इज अ मसल प्रोटीन, मायोसिन इज अ मसल प्रोटीन. तो हमें और उस चिकन में इट इज जो फंक्शन है प्रोटीन का, जो स्ट्रक्चर है, दे आर वेरी क्लोजली रिलेटेड. Okay, that's when you get such an alignment or visual cladogram. The same goes here. Real में मतलब it is having little difference, but obvious थोड़ा difference तो उसमें रहेगा ही proteins के बीच में, because there is not just one myosin protein ना, उसके subtypes होते हैं having very subtle differences रहते हैं. It could be possible there's a different gene which is coding for that particular protein. तो उसके बेसिस पर भी डिफरेंसेस आ सकते हैं आफ्टर ट्रांसलेशन ऑफ दैट डीएनए सीक्वेंस, ठीक है. व्हेन वी विल बी डूइंग द वेबलेंस, जब तुम खुद करोगे, व्हेन यू विल एक्चुअली बी प्रैक्टिकली डूइंग इट, इट वुड ऑल गेट क्लियर. ओके, यू जस्ट हैव टू नो what is the significance of a cladogram and a phylogenetic tree. उसमें थोड़ा थोड़ा डिफरेंस होता है दोनों के बीच में. ओके, तो what is the difference वो पता होना चाहिए दोनों के बीच में from exam point of view also. When we would be doing the WebLens, I will explain it in detail that time. जब it will remain in your, तभी दिमाग में easily बैठ जाता है, ठीक है. Okay, so this was all about हमने introduction, databases, search tools. Two subtopics are done. We are moving on to the third subtopic, that is applications. ठीक है? Okay, so I have made a separate PPT only for that, so you don't get confused. Okay, so applications कहाँ हो सकते हैं? तुम लोग को क्या लगता है बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स का? अभी हमने पढ़ा है बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स में क्या होता है, हम क्यों करते हैं बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि what could be the applications? जल्दी जल्दी बोलो. No. बोलो जल्दी. Either put it in the chat box ना. We talked about proteins, we talked about DNA, we talked about we had talked about receptors, data study. Okay, yes. What kind of data study? You have to be a little elaborate. Huh? एकदम broad answers मत दो. चलो जल्दी थोड़ा सा लॉजिक यूज करके बोलो. Where could you use bioinformatics? कहाँ यूज कर सकते हैं bioinformatics को हम? And we have talked so much about proteins and DNA. Divya, are you there? Divya. Divya isn't there. Okay. Assuming she's just logged in and gone. Okay, Mariam. Hi, Mariam. What is your background? Since it's your first lecture today, I'm sure कि सब सर के ऊपर से जा रहा है तुम्हारे. Mariam, I can't hear you, dear. तुम्हारा आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. You can just put it in the chat box. Otherwise, are you from microchemistry or something? Okay, all DNA, RNA, and their species. Okay, Chirag, what exactly are you trying to say when you say about DNA, RNA, and their species?
Ma'am, actually, we can study the comparison of other species like human or like the previous example of protein.
Correct,
You
correct,
can
correct.
move on.
Right,
And
right,
मैंने
right.
आज
Yes, yes, बराबर है.
हाँ वही बोल
Okay.
रहा था.
अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है ठीक है. Okay. You're correct, no doubt about that. ठीक है. So when we talk about applications, we have three broad क्या बोलते हैं, regions where bioinformatics is applicable. ठीक है. First is genomics, when we talk about DNA and all its products. ठीक है. Then we have proteomics, when we talk about proteins, different types of proteins. Everything will come. उसका structure, उसका function. Same is applicable for genomics. Its structure, function, everything. And finally, drug discovery. Okay, new drug discovery is one of the fields where bioinformatics plays a very major role. ठीक है, तो हम इन तीनों में कहाँ और कैसे यूज होता है वो देखने वाले हैं. ठीक है, not in very detail but in brief. So we'll start with genomics today. Okay, so when you see this picture, what comes to your mind? Like, can you label the picture? जो लोग तभी थे बायोमोलिक्यूल्स के लिए, उनके लिए तो ये बहुत इजी होना चाहिए, बिकॉज वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड दिस. दिस इज लाइक अ रिविजन फॉर द अदर्स. चलो जल्दी जल्दी. शाइस्ता, क्या क्या है पिक्चर में?
मैम DNA,
हम्म.
chromosome and cells. मैम replication steps.
ओके, करेक्ट, यू राइट. ठीक है. सो यू राइट. सो दिस राइट हियर इज योर सेल. बराबर. ये क्या है? सेकंड एरो. जल्दी जल्दी बोलो. नो, this particular structure, this one here.
Nucleus.
Yeah, exactly, that's the nucleus. फिर ये क्या है?
Chromosome.
क्रोमोसोम है. This
DNA.
DNA. That particular जो कर्ली ब्रेसेस में है वो, what is the segment of the DNA called? क्या बोलते हैं डीएनए के सेगमेंट को? ये भी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं हम.
Gene.
यस राइट. किसने आंसर दिया?
Shraddha.
Okay, right, Shraddha, that is your gene. So a segment of your DNA is called a gene, correct? So that particular gene is going to code for a protein. बराबर. तो वो जब जीन का ट्रांसक्रिप्शन होगा, ट्रांसलेशन होगा, उसका सब मॉडिफिकेशन होगा. ट्रांसक्रिप्शन के बाद mRNA बनता है, मैसेंजर आरएनए बनेगा. उस मैसेंजर आरएनए, दैट मैसेंजर आरएनए इज गोइंग टू अंडरगो ट्रांसलेशन. देन वंस अमीनो एसिड polypeptide chain will form, which will undergo post-translational modifications, and then you finally get a protein. Folding वगैरह सब होने के बाद, that is your protein. ठीक है? Okay. So you have a cell. उसके अंदर there is a nucleus, right? Every cell has a nucleus. Then if you zoom in, there is a chromosome, right? Then during the cell cycle के टाइम पे वो सब जो DNA है वो सब कंडेंस होकर क्रोमोसोम बनता है, करेक्ट? So your chromosome is nothing but your DNA, है ना? सब condensed DNA becomes your chromosome. Every segment of DNA is called your gene, which is going to code for a particular protein, okay, or a particular product, जो भी. So genes are a segment of DNA. It is a gene coding for a protein corresponds to a sequence of nucleotides along one or more regions of a molecule of DNA. बराबर. हमने देखा अभी वो segment है DNA का, that is your particular gene which is going to code for a protein. In species with double-stranded DNA, genes may appear on the either strand, right? So it's about your genes basically. So what is genetics? It is a science of genes, heredity and the variation of organisms. Genes क्या होता है अब हमें पता चल गया, it's a segment of DNA. We had also studied what is heredity and how organisms vary, है ना. Individually also we look very different from each other. Why is that? That is because of our genes. So when we are studying genes, when we are studying how these genes are transferred from the parents to the offspring, all that comes under genetics. वो जीन का स्ट्रक्चर क्या है, विच प्रोटीन इट इज गोइंग टू कोड, अगर इस पर्टिकुलर जीन में म्यूटेशन हो गया यानी सम चेंजेस हैपन, व्हाट इट कुड कोड फॉर, है ना. ये सब प्रेडिक्शन हम लोग जेनेटिक्स में पढ़ते हैं. ओके. In modern research, genetics provides tools in the investigation of the function of a particular gene, like analysis of genetic interactions. है ना. If you guys have पढ़ा ही होगा, of course, Mendelian genetics में अगर पढ़ा है तो we make a box, है ना. We try to cross the peas, garden pea वगैरह. Something similar is done in genetics also. Then who can tell me what is a genome? ये तो मैंने बहुत explain किया था back then biomolecules के lecture में. So who can tell me what is a genome? Blessy, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. There.
What is a genome?
Set of genes.
Set of genes. Okay. Okay. Who else? रोशन, जीनोम क्या होता है? ऋषिकेश,
Yes, ma'am.
जीनोम क्या होता है?
Genome is an organism, the complete set of the genetic instructions.
Yes, perfect. So your genome is an organism's complete set of genetic instructions. यानी everything, your entire DNA. हर organism का एक genome होता है. If you guys have heard about the Human Genome Project, and so it's all about the DNA, all of its products. Everything is studied under. That is what your genome is called. ठीक है? Each genome contains all of the information which is needed to build that organism and allows it to grow and to develop. ठीक है. जितना भी इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए एक ऑर्गेनिज्म को ग्रो होने के लिए, है ना. पर्टिकुलर प्रोटीन्स चाहिए, पर्टिकुलर मतलब बॉडी का जो स्ट्रक्चर है उसके लिए भी तो चाहिए ना. यू नीड मसल्स, यू नीड योर बोन्स. वो सब जो चीजें हैं, एवरीथिंग दैट्स हैपनिंग इन योर बॉडी इज ऑन द कमांड ऑफ योर डीएनए ultimately, है ना. तो when you study the entire DNA, all everything with respect to the DNA, everything, उसके proteins, RNA, everything, that all comes under your genome. In the fields of molecular biology and genetics, a genome is all the genetic material of an organism. तो अभी एक DNA है, there are certain segments of DNA which are coding and some are non-coding. मतलब certain genes are going to code for protein, certain genes are not going to code for protein, वो कुछ नहीं करेंगे. They're just part of the DNA. So when you are going to study the coding as well as the non-coding sequences of your DNA, all of that comes in your genome. The entire thing is called your genome, not just your coding segments or your coding genes. Both your coding genes and your non-coding genes are considered in your genome. So every organism will have a genome, right? It consists of DNA. The genome includes both the genes and the non-coding DNA as well as mitochondrial DNA and chloroplast DNA. है ना. chloroplast plants में होता है तो उनका भी plant genome, when you study about the plant genome, it is also going to consider the DNA which is present in the chloroplast. And when we talk about us, we are going to also include the DNA which is present in the mitochondria. Mitochondria is an organelle which is present in a cell. ये भी हमने बायोमोलिक्यूल्स में पढ़ा हुआ है. Okay. So what is genomics? हमने देखा जीन क्या है, जेनेटिक्स क्या है, जीनोम क्या है. So what could be genomics based on the definition of genome? बोलो. We studied about gene. We said about genetics. Ki genetics is a study of genes. हमने जीनोम पढ़ा, तो what could be the meaning of genomics?
Study of genome.
Exactly, study of genomes. So, genomic studies are categorized by simultaneous analysis of large number of genes using automated data gathering tools. Right, that's where bioinformatics is going to play a major role here. Automated tools hai, so we are going to of course use algorithms and all of those search tools and all. ठीक है, तो बहुत सारे genes होते हैं, उस सब का एनालिसिस हम लोग जीनोमिक्स में करेंगे. We are going to basically study the entire genome of an organism. The topics of genomics range from genome mapping to genome sequencing, functional genomic analysis to comparative genomic analysis. So when we do genome mapping, we are basically studying, हम लोग वो particular genome को map करते हैं. We are going to study the entire genome. उसके भी tools होते हैं. Same as in sequencing, okay, like Sanger sequencing हम करते हैं. When we are talking about genomes, we do, or DNA, we do Sanger sequencing. So we get the sequence of the DNA. Then there's functional genomic analysis and comparative genomic analysis. So comparative में we are going to basically compare the genomes, okay. So genomic study can be tentatively divided into structural genomics and functional genomics. So if you just study the term structural genomics, it would be more about the structures, and functional में functions, ठीक है, in a broad spectrum. So structural genomics refers to the initial phase of genome analysis, ठीक है, where we're going to study the construction of the genetic and physical maps which come under genome mapping, identification of the genes to identify which gene is present where in genome mapping, and what a gene does. Is it a coding or a non-coding gene? If it's a coding, वो क्या code करेगा, वो सब. Annotation of the gene features, ठीक है, specific features रहता है वो हम annotate करेंगे उस gene को. Then comparison of genome structures, different genomes, we're going to compare their structures, and we are going to screen the expressed genes whose translation ultimately yields the respective protein. So when you talk about translation or when you talk about expression of genes, it basically means कि वो particular gene transcript होगा, translate होगा और एक protein देगा. तो जब एक protein देता है, हम बोलते हैं कि that gene expresses. ठीक है, that's what the term express means. ठीक है, in terms of gene expression. Then in functional genomics, we are going to study or do the analysis of global gene expression and gene functions in a genome. ठीक है, वो genome, वो जो particular gene है, उसका detailed functional study हम functional genomics में करते हैं. Again, we are going to use n number of tools in both the cases. Structural genomics advantage of genomics approach is that the genes are more accessible experimentally and easier to handle. ठीक है, तो overall when you talk about genomics, तो it is easy to do, ठीक है, because we're talking just about genes, we're not talking about proteins here. So it is the data which comes from genomics is easier to handle than that which comes from proteomics. ठीक है. So applications in terms of bioinformatics in genomics, we are seeing that here. So first is in genomic medicine. Okay, so I have put this picture under genomic medicine. Okay, so it basically means that the development of personalized medicines. Okay, for every individual studying their particular genetics, या उसका उस particular individual का genome पढ़ के, when I study individual genome, I'm going to get varying genes. ठीक है, some genes are going to be similar, some genes are not going to be similar. And if I study my genome and your, तुम में से किसी एक का genome अगर मैं compare करूंगी, तो it's going to be way different. ठीक है, even if I compare mine with a girl's genome, it's going to be different. My eyes, मेरा particular gene which is going to code for my eye color, particular gene which is going to code for my hair color, my hair type, and my body type. Everything is going to be different. There are certain things like maybe skin color, or maybe for the proteins, like structural proteins, like for keratin, then for myosin. Yeah, these are all structural proteins or muscular proteins. So both genes could be same. or identical. We'll use the term identical. But there are certain genes that are going to be different. Like if you talk about in with respect to genomic medicine, when you talk about medicine, it comes to diseases, right? So there would be certain genes which are present in my body that are not yet expressed for maybe cardiovascular diseases. Since I'm having a history of cardiovascular diseases in my family, it is possible that I have also inheritary I have also inherited that particular gene, okay, from my mom's side. So it is possible कि वो particular gene may express and I might also end up getting a cardiovascular disease. But if I compare my genome with one of your genomes, it may happen that तुम में वो gene ना हो. That's where what personalized medicine is going to mean for me. If I'm at the risk of getting a cardiovascular disease, I would have a personalized medicine for me, okay, either for the prevention or for the treatment. Okay, that's what personalized medicine means when we talk about genome in genomic medicine. Okay, where you're going to study the genome and you're going to even tell the person कि उसको chances है क्या or what risk factor he or she is at to get that particular disease which is inherited. Like diabetes भी होता है कुछ लोगों को it's hereditary. They inherit that particular gene which gets expressed. ठीक है, the same goes for cardiovascular diseases, certain psychiatric and neurological disorders as well. So current bioinformatics, BI stands for bioinformatics here. It covers a wide range of scientific research that reflects the breadth of biological research. Just a generalized term. Active areas of bioinformatics research include, when you talk about genomic medicine, sequence analysis, that would also include sequence alignment, जो हमने pairwise and multiple sequence alignment देखा था. Please try to relate. ठीक है? Gene finding comes more under genome mapping, okay, where there are certain tools that I'm going to use under bioinformatics to search the particular gene in the entire genome. We're not going into depth of that. Okay? We're just doing the overview of applications. So just know bioinformatics also has tools which is going to help me find one particular gene from the entire genome. Okay? And then phylogenetics relation. Okay? 3D protein structure determination, of course, मुझे वो अगर I have a particular gene जो I have to know ना कि वो क्या कोड करने वाला है, तो मैं उसका in vitro transcription translation करके वो एक प्रोटीन देगा, मैं उसका प्रोटीन का स्टडी करूंगी. And if that particular protein I can also study whether अगर मैं मेडिसिन बना रही हूँ, पर्सनलाइज मेडिसिन बना रही हूँ, I can also see कि मैं अगर ये ड्रग उस पर्टिकुलर इंडिविजुअल के लिए अगर देना प्रिस्क्राइब करना चाहती हूँ, whether that particular drug will go and bind to that particular protein. Okay, that's where the 3D structure determination comes into picture, because I need to know कि उसका structure क्या है, वहां पे ligand कहाँ है, जहाँ मेरा drug जाके bind करेगा. Drug जब तक protein receptor से bind नहीं करेगा, it's not going to work, है ना? वो सब हम देखेंगे आगे new drug development में. ठीक है? Then visualization, I also need to visualize how my DNA sequence or the gene structure looks like. Then pathway analysis and reconstruction. This is also one of the points that come under systems biology. Okay, where I'm going to identify the deregulations in a metabolic pathway that is happening. It could be either in diseases, or it could also be just generalized pathway of a drug. Okay. So by identifying deregulations to improve understanding of complex phenotypes, expression, जो physically दिखता है, that is your phenotype. Then modeling and simulation of molecular processes that can also be done using bioinformatics. Then construction of genome maps, it comes under genome mapping. Statistical analysis of experimental data, this comes in picture when you talk about new drug development. Then development of ontologies. Ontologies means the representation of gene and gene product attributes across all the species. This comes when you do हम लोग जब स्कोप या कैट करेंगे, that time there will be वहाँ पे एक term आएगा GO, that is genetic gene ontology. So ontologies are nothing but it is like a tool of bioinformatics, a backend program जो सारे gene products को across all the species उसको एक attribute देगा. ठीक है? Development of databases, of course we need genomic databases, है ना? So that I can access it for developing personalized medicines. Okay, and classification of tumors or diseases for diagnosis on the basis of gene profiles. Okay. Okay. The next is, can anybody tell me what can they interpret through this picture? It's very easy. कोई भी interpret नहीं कर सकता. It is so easy.
DNA and life.
DNA and life. Okay. And what else? It's a clear picture of a heart. I mean, it's a heart. Okay.
Gene related to heart.
Yeah. So if you say scientific terms में cardiovascular. ठीक है. So bioinformatics in cardiovascular research. So compared to cancer research, so cancer research maybe bioinformatics plays a role, but if you compare it to cardiovascular research, the database is very limited. ठीक है, cardiovascular database बहुत कम है. At present, cardiovascular genomics and bioinformatics is focused on establishing gene expression profiles for a multitude of ex vivo animal model systems and limited collections of human material. So how the particular gene expresses in an animal or a test organism, उसका प्रोफाइल वो लोग बनाते हैं. ठीक है, how that particular gene, cardiovascular gene, which whatever DNA they are taking from the heart, from their cardiovascular system, उसका वो लोग gene profiling करेंगे. And also to identify potential molecular diagnostic markers and new targets for drug development. So again here proteins are going to come into picture when they talk about targets for drug development. ठीक है. So again they will take the gene, उसको वो लोग कोड करेंगे, उनको उसको ट्रांसक्राइब करेंगे, then you translate करेंगे, you get a protein. उस प्रोटीन का वो लोग 3D स्ट्रक्चर दिखेंगे, and then they're going to search for targets for drug development, कि ये पर्टिकुलर ड्रग कहाँ जाके बाइंड करेगा and it will act. तो ये सब तो वो लोग प्रैक्टिकली नहीं करते, they do it in silico. If you remember first lecture in silico मैंने बताया था कि जब हम लोग ड्रग डेवलप करने वाले हैं, when the new drug has to come into the market, I don't directly make the drug and put it in the animal. It doesn't happen like that. I have to see कि वो मेरा ड्रग कहाँ पे प्रोटीन में जाके स्ट्रक्चर पे बाइंड करने वाला है, which ligand it is going to bind, which site it is going to bind. So I go with in silico analysis in that case. So मैं 3D structure देखूंगी, then I will use docking softwares, ये हम पढ़ेंगे आगे, but I will go and dock my drug to my protein structure and see whether how it is interacting and all of that stuff. ठीक है. So when you talk about cardiovascular research, to identify the markers or targets for drug development with respect to cardiovascular diseases. Then characterization of small RNA population, identification of microRNA targets in plants, identification of genome methylation patterns. Methylation is a post-translational modification, ठीक है, where methyl groups are added to the amino acid polypeptide chain before it becomes a protein. Okay, ठीक है. That's what methylation means. So to identify the methylation patterns, not only methylation patterns, but also to identify other post-translational modifications that happen. Okay. Again, I'm going to in vivo transcription होगा जीन का, फिर उसका ट्रांसलेशन होगा, फिर जब प्रोटीन मिलेगा उसका हम मिथाइलेशन पैटर्न हम या पोस्ट ट्रांसलेशन मॉडिफिकेशन पैटर्न्स हम चेक करेंगे. ओके, व्हाट अबाउट दिस? ये तो बहुत ही इजी है. This picture, anybody?
Vaccine.
Antibody.
Yeah, right. Vaccines. Correct. So, characterization of genomes from pathogenic bacteria or virus for the prediction of genes that may encode vaccine candidates. है ना? जब मैं अभी, if you see COVID, viral, it is a virus, right? So viral genetic material. उस जीनोम को मैं पहले क्या करूंगी? I will characterize it. ये सब हो चुका है ना? उसका जीनोम मैपिंग वगैरह सब हो चुका है. So after, if there is a bacteria, मैं उस बैक्टीरिया का जीनोम मैपिंग करूंगी. I will study the genes and everything, you know, which gene is responsible for its virulence or for its pathogenicity. pathogenicity when you talk about bacteria, virulence when you talk about the virus. So I'm going to see which particular gene is responsible for the virulence. If you talk about virus, pathogenicity, bacteria. तो मैं क्या करूंगी, मैं उस जीन को आइसोलेट करूंगी एंड देन आई विल यूज इन सिलिको एनालिसिस टू सी व्हिच ड्रग कैन हेल्प मी, क्या बोलते हैं उसको कॉम्बैट करने के लिए, ठीक है, विच विल गो एंड बाइंड टू दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट और टू दैट पर्टिकुलर जीन, तो एनकोड ही ना करे वो विरुलेंस के प्रोटीन्स, ठीक है. दैट्स व्हाट वैक्सीन मींस इन दिस टर्म. सो अगेन आई एम गोइंग टू यूज इन सिलिको एनालिसिस हियर. मैं डायरेक्टली वैक्सीन बना के नहीं करने वाली हूँ. देयर इज अ लॉन्ग प्रोसीजर एंड बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स अगेन कम्स इन द पिक्चर हियर, ठीक है. क्योंकि मुझे वैक्सीन बनाना है या मुझे एक मेडिसिन या ड्रग बनाना है और फॉर्मुलेशन बनाना है, आई नीड टू फर्स्ट नो द जीनोम and where that particular drug is going to go and act over there or arrest its mechanism. Okay, this is also easy. Okay, so basically to cure the diseases by finding protein targets. Again, when I find the protein targets, I'm going to come up with drugs and medicines, ठीक है, जो directly वो protein के साथ जाके bind करेगा and it will help me cure the disease. This one is also easy. Okay, it's just a missing puzzle in the brain. So brain है तो it's about neurosciences, ठीक है. So using bioinformatics to study pathologically relevant pathways and disease mechanisms which are involved in neurological and psychiatric disorders like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and all that stuff. So when you study those pathways and those mechanisms, so disease mechanisms in case of diseases like meningitis, ठीक है, तो उसमें इन्फेक्शन का जो मैकेनिज्म रहता है, हाउ द बैक्टीरिया इज गोइंग टू गो एंड यू नो मेनिंजेस में वो कैसे कहाँ पे जाके एक्ट करता है, टू स्टडी दैट मैकेनिज्म आई एम गोइंग टू यूज बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स हियर एज वेल. इफ आई वांट टू स्टडी द पाथवे, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट Alzheimer's or if you talk about Parkinson's, तो nerves degrade हो जाते हैं, degenerate हो जाते हैं. So what exactly is the how it works, how it happens, वो pathways I can study using bioinformatics, ठीक है. So I'm going to use functional genomics here and using techniques like SAGE, qPCR and microarrays, ठीक है. So SAGE is serial analysis of gene expression, ठीक है. qPCR is qualitative PCR, quantitative PCR, ठीक है. If you guys remember real time PCR sir ने workshop लिया था, and microarrays, okay. And finally this is cancer research, ठीक है, bioinformatics in cancer research. So studying the genetics basis of cancer, and what is cancer? It is the uncontrollable growth of cells. So why that happens? Because there is some wrong message which is gone to the cell during the cell cycle, ठीक है. उसको एक गलत मैसेज मिला है कि you have to divide, you have to grow, जो दिया ही नहीं होता है. So why is that happening? It could be because of some change in the particular gene or mutation in the gene. So I need to study के कौन से gene में कहाँ पे क्या हुआ है. So I'm going to study the genetic basis of cancer using DNA, microarray and all other techniques, whatever techniques are available. Again, I'm going to use bioinformatics here also to develop, to come up with treatment, है ना, treatment regimes मुझे अगर develop करने हैं तो again I need to use bioinformatics here as well at the DNA level. Okay, technology and new computational algorithms have been developed to aid in the analysis. So when you talk about computational algorithms, it's about bioinformatics. Okay. Okay, that is all about applications of bioinformatics in genomics. ठीक है? Any doubts so far?
मैम इसके एप्लीकेशन का जो थर्ड पॉइंट था ना वो रिपीट कीजिए ना.
एक सेकेंड ना. ये characterization of small RNA populations in plants.
Yes, ma'am.
प्लांट्स का भी जेनेटिक मटेरियल होता है, इट आल्सो हैज डीएनए आरएनए, बराबर. सो ये अभी प्लांट्स में भी डिजीजेस होता है ना, टोबैको मोजाइक वायरस, है ना. देन देयर आर अदर डिजीजेस आल्सो व्हिच हैपन इन, जो प्लांट्स में होते हैं, बैक्टीरियल एज वेल एज वायरल, है ना, जो डिजीज कॉज करते हैं प्लांट्स में. So if I want to study about that, then also I can go with characterization of their RNA, their DNA, and microRNA targets in plants. So this is a microRNA targets in plants would be जो RNA के structures होते हैं, ठीक है. There are different types of RNA, mRNA, tRNA वगैरह है. तो RNA exactly उस plant में if that particular infection is going and क्या बोलते हैं, interacting with the RNA, I can study about that using bioinformatics. Just like हम DNA का करते हैं वैसे ही RNA का करेंगे, ठीक है.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So that was all about applications of bioinformatics in genomics. Okay. Tomorrow we would be doing about proteomics, and then you will start with drug development. Okay. Okay. So I wanted to ask. Tejasvi is not there no, today. So, Pratik and Praneet, have you guys visited the YouTube channel? तुमने देखा क्या?
हेलो.
Yes,
हेलो.
Praneet, बोलो.
हाँ मैडम, देखा मैंने वो चैनल पर. उसमें अभी जो लेटेस्ट का है वो भी मतलब है क्या, मतलब जो लेक्चर्स है मतलब बायो इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स का,
हाँ, उसका क्या?
मतलब हम लोग जो अभी 8 फेब से जो मिस किया है जो लेक्चर्स, तो वो अपलोडेड हो है ना वहाँ पे, मतलब अभी तक मतलब चैनल सिर्फ सब्सक्राइब
नहीं
किया
नहीं
है.
नहीं नहीं, तुम लोग को पहले तो पीछे का देखना पड़ेगा ना. यू गाइस हैव टू सी फ्रॉम द स्टार्टिंग नो फर्स्ट. अभी का तुम लोग देख के मतलब ही नहीं है, अभी 2-3 लेक्चर्स का तुम लोगों को लिंक ही नहीं बैठने वाला है. यू गाइस
चलो
हैव टू,
फर्स्ट
यू
लेक्चर
गाइस,
कब चालू हुआ था?
मैंने बराबर से ये डाला है टाइटल्स. यू गाइस, प्रणीत, प्रतीक, मरियम,
या
सॉरी, क्या?
मैम बोलूँ ना, सुन रहे.
हाँ, ओके. ओके. सो मरियम, प्रणीत, प्रतीक, एंड आल्सो इफ एनीवन नोस तेजस्वी, तो उसको भी बोलना कि यू गाइस हैव टू स्टार्ट वाचिंग फ्रॉम बायोमोलिक्यूल्स. बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स भी नहीं, बायोमोलिक्यूल्स उनको स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. इन केस तुम लोग भूल गए हो सब डीएनए आरएनए वो सब अगर भूल गए हो, तो यू गाइस विल हैव टू गो टू बायोमोलिक्यूल्स फर्स्ट. बायोमोलिक्यूल्स रिवाइज करने के बाद यू हैव टू स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट लेक्चर ऑफ बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स. बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स 1 डाला मैंने, तो एज अ लेक्चर्स गो 2 3 4 ऐसे मैंने डाला हुआ है. Okay, so we have started from the introduction to bioinformatics, then databases, different types of databases, and then we came to sequence alignment where we studied about pairwise and multiple. उसमें भी हमने algorithms पढ़े हुए हैं. There is no point watching those videos. You have to start from the scratch, from biomolecules. Biomolecules अगर याद है, you know carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, amino acids वगैरह पता है, then you can start with the first. But I would suggest first revising biomolecules and then starting with the first lecture of bioinformatics.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू. मतलब जो
Okay, and you
बायोमोलिक्यूल्स
guys, हाँ,
या
बोलो बोलो.
बायोमोलिक्यूल्स का जो फर्स्ट लेक्चर है वहाँ से स्टार्ट करते हैं हम.
हाँ, तुम लोग के लिए ही बोल रही हूँ ताकि तुम लोग को वो लिंक रहे फिर.
ओके मैम.
ओके. एंड तुम लोग ने गूगल क्लासरूम ज्वाइन किया है ना?
या वी हैव जॉइन.
So you found the reference material.
या आई हैव गॉट.
हाँ, so if you want, you can also go through that material. You can go through the YouTube videos. However, whatever you're comfortable with, either go through just the reference or just go through the videos, whatever. Those are just lectures only. ओके एंड देन इफ यू गाइज आर हैविंग एनी डाउट, मरियम दिस इज फॉर यू ऑल्सो, ठीक है, कुछ डाउट्स वगैरह रहेंगे, कुछ टॉपिक नहीं समझता है तो जस्ट लेट मी नो, वी कैन हैव रिविजन उसके ऊपर, ठीक है, बाकी लोगों का भी रिविजन हो जाएगा, ठीक है, बट पढ़ो क्योंकि एग्जाम में ये आने वाला है, प्रैक्टिकल्स में भी आएंगे, वो तो बात की बात है, यूनिट टेस्ट में ये यूनिट रहने वाला है, ठीक है, इसके लिए बोल रही हूँ। Okay, any doubts are there, just let me know, we will discuss. Okay, ठीक है, चलो फिर we will meet tomorrow. Okay, चलो, bye bye.